this is the most minimal and compact off-camera flash setup I've ever used in my career. Let's get into it. What's up, friends? My name is Pi. This is my friend Sabrina. She's gonna be modeling for me today. We will link her up so you guys can give her a follow. And today I'm working with basically the most minimal off-camera flash setup that I've used in my entire career. I've been shooting now for over a decade, and what I love about the gear is it just keeps getting smaller and easier to use. So what we're using, we have a Profoto setup right here. You guys can choose any camera, any lens combo. I've just got a 35mm Sigma lens on my Canon R5. And then on the camera, I have this little guy. It's the Profoto Connect, which you just pop on, turn on, and it's basically ready to go. It'll also sync up to your phone, which I'll show you in just a bit. But on this side, check this out. This is the Click softbox. And if you've never seen me set this up, you kind of need to, because it comes like this in our little portable bag, and this will fit and stow anywhere. And setting it up is literally that, which I don't know if that impresses you, but for those of us that are familiar with the rod system, this is really nice. We have magnets on the inside, which just connect directly to the A2. And now we got 100 watt-seconds of light. We're basically ready to go. So we're just gonna start shooting. I'm gonna give some tips along the way and kind of tell you what I think about the setup. Okay, I kind of dig this scene right here. I don't know if you see what these things are. They're like catnips or dead sunflower. I don't know what they are, but it kind of matches the orange tone of the dress. And if we get a little bit low, we can kind of place Sabrina right against the sky. So what we're gonna do is, Sabrina, I want you to stand in that little patch right there. And I've got Sabrina nice and comfy. She's actually one of the tour dancers for Hamilton, and she twisted her ankle recently. So we're not gonna put any work on that ankle. But you guys can check her out in Hamilton. Okay, I dig this. And what we'll do is kind of frame the feet out of the shot basically. But I could start with like a shot kind of up here. But let me just show you what we have. So I'm at 1/4000th f1.4 and low ISO. And I'm getting this. You'll notice that the sun, it's not setting yet. We have some pretty deep dark shadows in that image, but also compositionally, I'm not a huge fan of like the setup quite yet. So let's work composition first and kind of work through each of the steps in the camp framework. So what I'm gonna do compositionally is kind of find a little bit of an element to frame the image. And getting low like this not only lets me frame Sabrina, but also adds interest into the sky, because the sky's a little bit boring, right? We can place Sabrina against the sky where we get a clean background, but we also fill the frame with kind of these natural objects that have the similar color as her dress, which I really like. Now, the issue is at this exposure, I really love like the way that the background and everything looks, but the shadows are just a bit too deep. So what I need to do is, my ambient light setting is good. I want to keep it where it's at, where I have like all the tone, but I need to lift the shadows, right? So we're gonna modify. So our ambient light's dialed in at 1/4000th f1.4 and low ISO, and I'm gonna let the remote kind of do everything. So I'm gonna leave it on auto and just grab my flash setup, and I'm gonna let it just kind of do its job. So all I'm gonna do is hold this up, and this is kind of the fun part, is like this system's actually really intelligent. So it'll know that I need high-speed sync. It'll know that what flash power to use. I'm just gonna hold this right above this flower. And now with the light kind of modified, I'm gonna take a shot and see what we get. And I love that. So if you look at the first shot to the second shot, what you notice is the shadows open up a lot. Now what I don't want is, I don't want the light to hit too much of these like plants. So I'm gonna kind of feather it up and off and hold it out. And now I'm just gonna have Sabrina kind of move and work with the light a little bit. One of the things I want to point out here is we're not going for this very much kind of overpowered look. I'm just looking for the flash to kind of fill in some of the shadows and give me a really nice kind of natural editorial vibe to the image, which I love. So let's go find something else now. We're kind of in the same spot with these little catnips. We're just on the other side of this grass road right now. I'm placing Sabrina's back to the sun, and I could shoot this just like natural and bright, but I kind of want to retain a little bit more of like the background, the depthness. So I'm gonna leave my shutter speed at 1/4000th. We're at f1.4, low ISO. and it's gonna give us this shot kind of right here. So let me get a quick little test shot. So you'll notice that the background is fairly dark, right? I wanna leave it that way so we get kind of a richness of the shot. And right now, the flash needs to do a lot of work. So in this scene, I'm actually gonna just hold the flash and we're gonna hold it directly above and out of the frame. And I'm gonna photograph Sabrina kind of right against this background. I love that. Now the Connect, this particular remote, is probably one of the easiest ways to get into off-camera flash, because literally you just pop it on, you turn the flash on, it automatically recognizes everything and it's good to go. I've left it in auto for this entire shoot so far, and now what I'm really doing to control it is I'm just controlling the intention of the shot. So here, my background exposure is a bit darker, which kind of tells it that, okay, we need to pump a little bit more light in. So it's firing this at basically full power each one of these times and using high-speed sync. But look, if you wanted to have additional control, that's what the app is for as well. And depending on your camera, you can also use the exposure control in camera to control your flash through the remote. But through the Profoto Control app on your phone, you can actually connect to it, control all your flashes from here as well if you want to be shooting manual. But it's working so beautifully in auto right now that I don't feel like I have any need to do that. I dig this look right here. I kind of just want to step in a little bit and see if we can't get a little more of these like flowers in the foreground. So let's go in from this side. Okay, that is a huge ass spider. Let's go back.
No.
You know what that's called? You know what that's called? It's called a nope. It's called a, nope, we're not going in the grass. Nope, we're done here. Anyway, if you see nopes, just keep moving. There's something about this setup that I kind of really love. The Profoto Connect, it's so simplistic that like, I'm literally just putting it onto the camera and shooting. I'm kind of focusing more on like the artistry, the creative aspect. I don't know, I kind of really dig this approach to shooting. I think it's one of the easiest ways to get into off-camera flash. And then if through the app, of course, you do have extra functionality, you can shoot manual. But what a nice way of kind of disconnecting from the technical side and focusing more on the creative. We found our last spot. There's no nopes here that I can tell, but I still like feel itchy all over just from this past experience. Anyway, I'm gonna place Sabrina right here. There's kind of this opening between these leaves on each side. So Sabrina, why don't you stand in the middle? We've got the sun now coming nicely through the backside. It's still a couple hours from sunset, so the sun's still pretty high, but in these areas with like a lot of trees, you know, I love shooting at this time because it's kind of nicely bleeding through. And Sabrina, that pose is perfect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my intention for this shot. I'm gonna shoot it like around 1/200 of a second, f1.4, we're at ISO 200, and I'm just gonna go natural light first so I can show you what I'm thinking compositionally. Like, I love the way that this looks. I'm placing Sabrina kind of in the brighter area of this frame down here and letting the sun sort of bleed in from the top. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the A2 with the softbox just right off the left side, and I'm gonna let the Profoto Connect kind of continue to do its magic and see if it can guess what I want. And if it can't, then I'll use the manual control, but if it can, then why not? So watch this. I want you to time this vignette. Let's time it from the time it takes to set it up and get this onto a stand. Don't count my fumbling around. That's just being clumsy. People at home are not clumsy like me. Well, you guys can let me know. But that's it, I'm good to go. This is set up. I'm gonna place this on just a regular, this is just a Manfrotto Nano stand. And if it's windy, you're gonna want something a bit heavier. Now check this out. I want you guys to see this from my side. You'll notice that where Sabrina is placed right now, if you guys are looking from my angle, the light direction is actually coming from this side because there's kind of an opening in the trees off to this side, right? So rather than fight that, I'm actually gonna light along with that. I'm really gonna use the A2 and the softbox just to kind of clean up that light a bit. So I'm actually gonna match the light direction right over on this side, and we're gonna boom it up so it's kind of coming from the same angle as well. I'm gonna place this on auto. Let's see. Let's see if auto does the trick and knows exactly what I want. I'm gonna move right off to this angle. I mean, that's pretty dang awesome. I would say maybe it's a little bit bright for me, but nothing that your exposure compensation can't make an adjustment for. Let's see. Looks pretty freaking cool. So what I'm gonna do is grab my phone real quick and I'm gonna bring it down about 1.5 stops. So somewhere in the range of like, yeah, probably like -1.5 is gonna be my adjustment that I'm gonna make on that. And then from here, let's see what we get. I love that. The light is beautifully cleaned up. It looks absolutely fantastic. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start shooting for real. And I noticed that on the left side, there is this kind of pole that's going up there. I could shoot a little bit closer, or I could also just knock that on in the edit. I'm gonna do a little bit of both, but I love the way that this looks. Oh, I love if I kind of like move a little bit, you'll notice that I can get that light to kind of bleed through, where I get a little bit of that flare, and it just looks gorgeous. Working from back this far, I can kind of use a little bit of framing against the top of the image too. That's cute. Get a little more depth in the shot. There's something so simple and kind of easy about this. I'm really liking it. I hope you all enjoyed the video and got some good tips from it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't know that I would enjoy the Connect experience that much, not having the controls like right on the remote, but the simplicity of this and the fact that it did such a great job in auto. I can pull it up and shoot manual anytime that I wanted. I could use my phone to make quick and easy adjustments. Honestly, it was a breeze using it. And just this overall compact form factor and simplicity of the gear has really allowed me to kind of focus more on the creative aspect of shooting. Yeah, so I gotta say, I kind of dig it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna link up all the gear that we use in the description of the video. In the meantime, feel free to comment, let us know what you think. I'd love to see your guys' thoughts, your ideas. If you guys wanna see other things on future shoots, let me know. I read all the comments and I do my best to reply. That's it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.